What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Southern Queen, and we have Goddess as well as we have um,
Hey
Chris
everybody.
joining us today for Royal Diaries, our first discussion for Royal Diaries Season 1, Episode 1. We are going to be discussing the viral TikTok of a lady who named it "Who the F Did I Marry?" and we are going to. I don't know how many. She has a 50-part episode, so I don't know how many we're going to actually watch today. But that's what we are going to be discussing. We are going to play the first one, and then we are going to discuss it, and then we'll go ahead
Okay, you froze.
Please excuse the hair, but
that ain't good.
here is part one of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this, and he just thought that was like, wow, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL. I know about college. Go Dogs. But I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football. And I believe I did tell him that. I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing and they are helping me to look for a house. He was like, right now I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house. Ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, that's great. You're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work, and, this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me. He eventually asked me out on a date. Our first date was set for Saturday, March 7th, 2020. He asked me what was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures, because, that's always an issue with online dating. Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So on my way to our date, I took 285, and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom, and I lost control of my car. Thank God that not thank God, but I knew what to do. So I did not crash, but my tire blew out. So I called him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station. And I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing. He kind of paused. He got quiet. And he was like, tell me exactly where you are. Drop your pin. So I dropped the pin. And he came to the gas station. Got out the car. And I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures, that I was like, oh my God, he's actually attractive, because he's like 6'4", 6'5". Oh, also, man, I apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had 2 children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20. And he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids. But that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia was a new beginning for him. She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, he was like, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in there because that will come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, I would think people talk about in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I had butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies. So I had butterflies. And we go in, there's a long wait. And so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for. He tells me, you know, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like, that is what I want. He's like, I'm as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be for real, because the first time, you know, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so he was like, what is it that you want? And I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part 1.
That was long.
Okay.
Even for part 1, that was long, but you can see where it's going though.
Because she has 50 of them. So who wants to start with their opinion based on part 1?
Go ahead.
Look, he laughing. Got to say, what do you say? Yeah, go ahead. I want to see what you got to say about this part 1.
So it was pretty long.
Hey everybody, thank you for watching Royal Diaries.
I was waiting on a shocker or something like that. This seems like a great, upstanding guy.
So far, that's what I see. I'm kind of waiting for the rest.
I was waiting on a shocker too, but I didn't see a shocker. I mean,
he just seems like an upstanding guy.
50 parts. I mean,
the only part that
based on part 1.
He kept saying, he kept saying that he wants to be married. He can't wait to get married. But didn't she earlier say that he said he was divorced?
Wait, but just because you want to get married don't necessarily mean you wasn't married before. But I kind of understand where you're coming from too. I do. I understand that. But based on part 1 itself, I don't see any red flags. I don't see nothing wrong. I guess that's her warming everything up for what's to come. But that he came to her rescue when her tire blew out. He planned the date. She didn't go into details, but he actually planned the date. They were going to meet halfway because of the distance. She followed him. He followed her to where they went after her tire got situated. They walked. They held hands on the first date. That's kind of cute, you know. Like, I don't see no red flags on anything based on part 1. I'm digging it so far.
Same here. It just seems like she's just drawing it out though. Even with part 1, it's just long. With part, like, it's long. So I don't know how to rest part 1. Yeah, because like she had to like backtrack. So at least if you're gonna tell a story, start from the beginning and then follow it through. I don't want you to start and then backtrack like you talking to me like I'm your friend, because I'm not. You're telling us a story. You're trying to draw us in, so it's kind of hard for you to draw me in if it's long and then you got to backtrack.
Right. For those of you that are watching on any of our platforms, Guys High Radio, And this is
All the
Royal
details. You don't forget
Diaries
anything.
with Goddess Queen. And we also have Chris with us tonight. We are streaming from Facebook, Instagram, Rise High Radio, Facebook page, as well as the Rise High Radio platform and YouTube. And right now we are discussing the 50-part series of Who the F Did I Marry? We only watch part 1 tonight. If anybody has any input based on part 1, you are welcome to come up and speak your opinion. But this again is based on part 1. We might continue with part 2 next time or whatever, but this is based on part 1 only. And yeah, part 1 she drug it out too much, but so far so good for me. I don't see nothing wrong with him.
The only thing I see that stands out is she kept saying, he said, I can't wait to get married. He said he'd been divorced and he'd been there for the kids and everything. It's just kind of weird right there.
I don't see a red.
Maybe he said in.
I'm just saying, how many butterflies you gotta have to not pay attention to that? Like first he says that he's been divorced.
Well,
then next,
she obviously
he said he can't wait to get married. Why she didn't say he can't wait to get married again? She never used the word again. She said it over and over.
Yeah, that's true. She didn't.
I think before we can look into contents about it, we got much more. Unfortunately, it goes too long. How long is part 2? If it's like, how long is part 2?
I don't even know. Let me
yeah, I don't think we're gonna get into 2 right now because it's going late. But I'm interested in getting 2 because I can't determine anything off of 1. But for 50 parts, I know this is gonna be good.
Well,
and I'm glad neither one of us see it, so we can give blind reactions to each one we see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that by having these many parts to it, I don't know how often y'all plan on going live, but it's probably gonna take a year or 2 to get through all these. If you going every week.
Well, no, okay, so I think we're gonna have to watch these in like our downtime and then come back and just do a discussion, like a full discussion on it. This is almost like
we can do that.
We can do snippets. I can take snippets.
Isn't that what we was just doing?
Yeah.
But that's a long snippet. A snippet is not that long. That's long.
That was long. That was too long. I almost blinked and went to sleep.
That was super long.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not that long. Maybe we can do. I mean, hopefully y'all ain't that long.
Or we can watch.
Look, because I was like,
we can watch them in our downtime and then make a snippet of it if it's too long. Just kind of get to the beginning, the middle, and the
end. Talk about it.
Because trying to watch this is not gonna happen.
Yeah, trying to watch the whole.
Y'all will start out with me. By the end of that snippet or by the end of that little long story, I'm gonna be curled up in this chair with a blanket and I'm feeling.
They're gonna be like, we like the show, but they too damn long on there. Like, they need to get to it.
Exactly. Yeah, so maybe you can do snippets of the important parts of each one, and then we can talk about it and for the next show we could talk about it. Talk about each snippet for each one.
We can, but next week's show we actually have our topic. So this was kind of like just a little filler.
Yeah, we sure do.
Because we started so late.
Yeah.
Well, we started on time, but we had some technical difficulties, so we kind of just did a little spin off with the topic. Yeah.
So what we can do is, if our topic, if we have time after our topic before our hour is complete,
right,
then we can add this. So we can do both. We can talk about, the show is an hour long, so we can do 30 minutes of our topic, and then we can do the rest for that. So we can actually do both.
Nice.
Yeah. And then don't forget that we still have to do the
You froze. I didn't. You said we still have to.
We have to do the what? She still froze right now.
She is definitely froze.
Picture perfect.
Goddess, we can't hear nothing you saying because you froze.
Yeah, it still froze. Maybe she got a refresh and come back or something.
Yeah. Oh, we have someone in the queue. I think someone has something to say. Hold on.
That's her there.
We have people in the queue. We have people in the queue. Can y'all pull the queue up? It's not letting me pull it up.
Me either. Let's see.
Oh no, that's the video.
Well, it's time. It's my bedtime. It's time for me to go to sleep.
Right. Well, that was part one was super long, and we can't really get nothing based off part one. We just can't. It's basically impossible. So, with that being said, Royal DiaRies is on every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. Pacific. Every Saturday, you can join us. Again, that is Central Time, 8 p.m. Royal DiaRies with myself, Queen, and Goddess, and our engineer, aka co-host when he joins us, is Chris. Make sure you come join us. Our topic next week, Goddess, do you want to let everyone know what the topic is next week?
No, I prefer they just tune in and get the topic.
Sounds good. It's going to be good, and we welcome anyone that is interested in speaking. We can see your chats, and we can put them on the screen if there are questions or anything, as well as you can come up and join if you have something to say, if you have any questions or concerns. And again, this is Royal DiaRies. Keep a lookout for us every Saturday, 8 p.m. Central. And we are out.